Homeward Bound Daily Devotional by Ellen G. White. A Perpetual Safeguard, November 9th. Affliction will not rise up a second time. Nahum chapter 1 verse 9. Satan's rebellion was to be a lesson to the universe through all coming ages, a perpetual testimony to the nature and terrible results of sin. The working out of Satan's rule, its effects upon both men and angels, would show what must be the fruits of setting aside the divine authority. It would testify that with the existence of God's government and his law is bound up the well-being of all creatures he has made. Thus the history of this terrible experiment of rebellion was to be a perpetual safeguard to all holy intelligences, to prevent them from being deceived as to the nature of transgression, to save them from committing sin and suffering its punishments. To the very close of controversy in heaven, the great usurper continued to justify himself. When it was announced that with all his sympathizers he must be expelled from the abode of bliss, then the rebel leader boldly avowed his contempt for the Creator's law. He reiterated his claim that angels need no control, but should be left to follow their own will, which would ever guide them right. He denounced the divine statutes as a restriction of their liberty and declared that it was his purpose to secure the abolition of law, that, freed from this restraint, the hosts of heaven might enter upon a more exalted, more glorious state of existence. With one accord, Satan and his hosts threw blame of their rebellion wholly upon Christ, declaring that if he had not reproved them, they would never have rebelled. Thus, stubborn and defiant in their disloyalty, seeking vainly to overthrow the government of God, yet blasphemously claiming to be themselves innocent victims of oppressed power, the arch-rebel and his sympathizers were at last banished from heaven. The same spirit that prompted rebellion in heaven still inspires rebellion on earth. Satan has continued with human beings the same policy which he had pursued with the angels. His spirit now reigns in the children of disobedience. Like him, they seek to break down the restraints of the law of God and promise liberty through transgression of its precepts. Reproof of sin will arouse the spirit of hatred and resistance. When God's message of warning are brought home to the conscience, Satan leads people to justify themselves and seek the sympathy of others in their course of sin. Thank you for listening. This is your daily devotional. We hope you can join us again tomorrow. Homeward Bound.